Hello and welcome to day 7 of the Advent of Code 2021. I solved this again in Kotlin, and in this video I will walk you through how I came to my solution and explain how to do this in idiomatic Kotlin. Let's first look quickly of what the solution is. Again, I'm not going to read this, but I'm going to explain to you what the rough idea is. If you notice already, please use the chapters to skip ahead. So the idea today is that we're being given a list, a comma-separated list of positions in, well, essentially a horizontal array that in this case are crab submarines that we have to move around in a way such that all of them like align on the same position. So what I quickly pulled up for that is here this screenshot of essentially it is an array. So if you would consider that at each position there's a crab, or maybe there's also multiple at one position, that's not necessarily given. The goal of today's puzzle is to move them around, and each move costs 1 fuel in this case. So that's given here in the example. Where is it? Here. Moving 1 step in horizontal position, and there's only horizontal position, that's why I pulled up this array diagram here, costs 1 fuel. So let's say we want to move all of them to the middle position here. The one that's already here can stay there, and the others have to move 1 from this position, 1 from here, and 2 from here, and 2 from here, such that all of them align essentially in slot with the index 2. And that's it. What we do have to now return, that's the output of the puzzle, so to say, is how much fuel we would have to spend in total for all of these moves together. So in this simple example here, let's say we want to go indeed into the middle, we would have to spend 6 fuel, since this moves 1, this moves 1, this moves 2, and this moves also 2. So you can only move 1 at a time, of course. So we would need 6 fuel. So the goal is to return this, keeping in mind that you have to return the best possible solution that uses the least fuel. So of course there's many solutions, you could move to any of these positions, right? But you not only have to calculate how much fuel it uses, but also what is the best one to use. And of course there is a definitive answer to this, and we're going to find out right now how to arrive at that. So let's move here into IntelliJ, and this is our input indeed, just a very long list of comma-separated values, integers, with the positions. So obviously the first step in part 1 right here is that I parse the input very easily, as in previous puzzles. I split by the comma, and I map each of them to integers, and then we have a list of integers with the positions. It is not really explained if there can be duplicates in there, but for the solution that I have, it also doesn't matter if there would be. But I think checking the puzzle, they all start at like unique positions. So now this list of integers right here, if we quickly actually run this, is just where all the crabs start at. Right. So the only thing to keep in mind right here is that, of course, we have the index in the list, but what we're actually interested in is the actual value. So this is a bit confusing. Just ignore these indices in the list itself. Essentially, if we would sort the list by the values, then we would have the crabs next to each other in the way that they like appear. That's, I think, just important to note. Right. And then the actual puzzle actually is super straightforward today. So the idea simply is that we need to calculate how much fuel we would use. So what I did in this case here is I created one extra function, calculate fuel consumption per position, which returns a map of int to long. What does this mean? The keys are the positions, and the long is how much combined fuel we would need to consume to get all of the crabs to that key in the map. So let's say in the example we had right here, we go to position 2. Then we would have a map with the key 2 and the value 6, because that's how much it would take to get all of them there. We would also, though, have in the map, we would also have the keys 0, 1, 3, and 4, to get how much it would take to get all of the crabs moving to those positions respectively. So what we can then simply do at the end, and that's already the end of the puzzle, although of course I'd explain what I did here, then we simply go into the map and say, give me the minimum of all your values. We're not really interested in the keys because the puzzle doesn't ask for like, what is that position? It just wants to know how much fuel it would take. However, of course, if we would also have to return which is that ideal position, then we can just find the best key value pair and return both the position and the combined fuel consumption. There are potentially, I presume, nicer ways to do this, because this of course is like exhaustive, like brute force of sort, and because we find like all of the positions and then just get the best one. But I figured, yeah, there's not really any, it doesn't make it any better or a lot faster if by not doing this. But I presume with the average of all the positions, you can probably find the ideal one better. But I think this is easier to understand, that's why I went for this. So let's now check out the function right here, calculate fuel consumption per position. So of course, one of the arguments is all the starting positions, right? So that's just literally what we parsed here in step 1. And then the interesting part is literally just this very short expression here. So we get first the minimum position of all of those and the maximum. I later on figured out that these actually are just the, how do you say, like the beginning and the end, if we would imagine this being an array. But I didn't know this in the beginning because I thought that, you know, it doesn't necessarily start at 0, for instance. It seems to be always starting at 0, so this is kind of not required. You could apparently hard code it, but I figured it's a bit nicer of a solution that it would support that the crab start at arbitrary positions and not necessarily fill out a full range from 0 to, I don't know, 1,000 or something. So that's why I left it in here, because I think it's nicer code. On paper, at least. So all we simply do now here is create a range with the ... operator right here. You now see here nicely in IntelliJ what this evaluates to. So we have an integer range from including the min position, which is 0, all the way also including the max position, which is like, I don't know, 1,900 or something. So let's quickly run this again and have a look at it. So here you now can see what I just described. The min position is indeed 0 and the max position is just the highest of that. So both of them you could have potentially hard coded, but I figured, yeah, it's pretty ugly code if I do that. The idea of associate with is that we create, or it for us creates a map from whatever we're iterating over. So in this case, our end position, end being, of course, all of the values in this range. And I call it end because it's the end position one wants to be in, right? You start somewhere with the crabs and you want to move them all to one position. And we just try to find like how much fuel it would take per these positions. So that's why I call it end, because yeah, that's where you want to end up in. And then what we simply can do, of course, is we can inside of here also iterate over all of the starting positions. So this is start. So we want to now simply know how long does it take to go from start to end position, right? And then later on, I figured, okay, we can, that's what you see in a moment, we can reuse this bit here for the part 2, which we'll cover in a moment. So what I then did here is that instead of hard coding here how to calculate how much fuel does it take to go from start to end, I pass in a lambda expression that just receives start and end. So you can see these are the parameters right here. And then I just invoke this and it returns along, which is then the total fuel consumption to go, well, not the total one, but the fuel consumption for that one to go from start to end. And then the nice thing, of course, here is that this can differ. So that's also why I call it fuel equation. We could have different ways to calculate the fuel. So you saw in part 1 that is just for each step, each hop that you do along the positions, it takes one fuel unit or whatever. So here the fuel equation is very easy, as you'll see in a moment. But it can now support arbitrary ones. So you could have like a very complex way to calculate the fuel. Not necessarily required, but I think makes for quite nice code at least. And then, of course, the final step that we do here is instead of just mapping over it and collecting the values, I can just immediately sum over it. Idea being, of course, that each of these values inside here is how much it would take for this specific start and end, how much fuel it would take. So once we have all these fuel values for all of the crabs, we just sum all of them together and have how much total fuel that would take. So in the end, what we simply return here is now our map from all these positions in the range associated with That's why the extension function is called like that. How much total fuel it would take for all of the given starting positions. That's all that happens in this function. I figure it's pretty nice idiomatic Kotlin code. Right, and with that we're already almost done. We simply still have to figure out the fuel equation. Fuel equation in this case, you probably guessed it or saw it already. Very easy. So all we can do here is we take the absolute value from how much it is from start to end. So it's simply the difference. So it also doesn't matter in which order you do it. You just subtract one from the other and take the absolute, so that will make it always a positive value. And then you know just, yeah, how much difference there is between these two values. Then we simply cast it to a long, because this one's a long. The reason that I did that is that I figured, okay, in theory, once we have a more complicated fuel equation here, that, I don't know, does some whatever formula, we might need more fuel than an integer can hold. So that's why I did a long in the end. But for this one, it's of course not required, because you can never be more than either start or end in this case. But to keep it generic with this equation, I figured it's a nice way to do it. Right, so that's that already. Let's quickly run this again to see what this now looks like. And then I guess we can already move to part 2. Right, let's take a look. So fuel per position is now simply this. It would mean that to move all of the crabs to position 0 would take 400 and so many 4,000 fuel units. And now you can see that over time this decreases more and more, because of course at some point there's like some equilibrium or whatever, like some ideal point where from either side the crabs need like the least fuel, right? So if we would scroll down, these values like decrease and decrease even further. That's why you can of course solve this without trying every solution. But I figured this is not too bad, because the list is not very long and it still runs blazing fast. So all we do now in the end is simply say, give me the minimum of this, which in this case happens to be this value right here. So this is probably somewhere in the middle of all of the positions, because that takes in total the least fuel for all of the crabs to like converge to there. Right, let's move on to part 2. So part 2 doesn't differ a lot, and that's precisely why I did this fuel equation, as I said, because now we can simply replace the fuel equation. It's not necessarily super straightforward, but with a short explanation, I think it is actually quite easy to understand. So the only thing that does change here is that, the equation, the formula to calculate the fuel consumption changes. So it says here, as it turns out that crab submarine engines don't burn fuel at a constant rate. Instead, each change of one step in horizontal position, ignore this, there's only position essentially, you can only move horizontally, costs 1 more unit than the last. So the first step costs 1, second 2, and so on. This would mean for us that essentially what we need to do is, if we go to the example here, if we want to move to 2, then now to go from 0 to 2 doesn't take 1, 2 anymore, but it takes 3, right? This takes 1 and this now takes 2, just because, yeah, the engines are not very good. And you maybe notice that this is like a common series in mathematics. If you didn't, it's called the triangular number. So you're probably familiar with factorial, which is like multiplying numbers until a certain range, so you get some value. So this is pretty much the same or very similar, instead of doing an addition, instead of a multiplication. So simply all this means is that we could say, what is the triangular number of 2? And in this case we know it's 3, because what this simply means is how much is it summing all the numbers until that value together, right? And that turns out to be precisely what we want here. So each step takes always a bit more, and that's also what you can nicely see in a diagram actually, hence it's called triangular number. It always doubles on each step. So if you would consider that each of these downward movements, and that's why it's called triangular number, of course, because it forms a nice triangle, each of these movements downward to the next layer, so to say, is 1 hop. You can see very visually nicely that this works exactly how the puzzle describes it. First steps takes 1 fuel, second steps takes 2 fuel, third 3 fuel, and so on and so forth. And this is of course infinitely reproducible. And then literally what I just did, you check here the first sentence where it says formula. Triangular numbers are given by the following explicit formula, and you can just simply implement the formula right here in Kotlin, because it's not very difficult to begin with. And that's precisely what I did. So we do n times, in parentheses, n plus 1 divided by 2. So keeping that in mind, if we go back to Kotlin and check solve part 2, precisely in our fuel equation right here, so this is the lambda as you saw that we pass in here with start and end, we have the same here. And now I simply again take how long does it take, how much is the difference, convert that to long, and now I apply this custom extension function that I wrote called triangular. And if we check that, it literally does what we just saw. It takes n, in this case it's this, right? It's whatever we call this on, times, in parentheses, this plus 1, and then all of this in parentheses divided by 2. So this is literally this formula right here. And that will return us, on whatever we call this, its nth triangular number out of this infinite series right here. So if we do that, we very nicely can model how much fuel it would take given this fact that it describes in the puzzle. So right here you pretty much see a similar picture. Of course the values are a lot higher because it takes more fuel, and also the way that it like changes toward the middle somewhere is also in a different rate, obviously. But apart from that, again, you could say like, hey, to get all of the crabs to position 96, and then I know it would take this much amount of fuel combined to move all of them there. Right, that's that for part 7 or day 7 of the Advent of Code 2021. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel for many more like this one. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'll be very happy to answer them. And yeah, I see you tomorrow on day 8. Tschüss!